The world around me, it becomes painfully clear that pride is a pervasive force that influences nearly every aspect of our lives. In our culture, pride is not only tolerated, it's celebrated. Everywhere you look, the message is the same. You are the most important person in your life. Your desires, your ambitions, your accomplishments. These are what matter most, whether it's in the workplace, on social media, or even in our homes. Pride is everywhere. The culture we live in elevates the individual, promotes self-reliance, and discourages the idea of submitting to anyone, let alone God. People are encouraged to make their own rules, to climb the ladder of success no matter the cost, and to measure their worth by the standards of the world, wealth, status, power, and influence. But the question we need to ask ourselves is, does the Bible say anything about all of this? What does God have to say about the human obsession with pride? If you go to Scripture, you will find that pride is not merely an unpleasant attitude. It's a dangerous, destructive force that opposes everything God desires for His people. In fact, Scripture tells us that pride goes before destruction. Proverbs 16:18. It's a warning, a stark reminder that pride has the potential to ruin lives. It is pride that led to the fall of Lucifer, pride that caused the corruption of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, and pride that continues to keep people separated from God to this day. It's not just an inconvenience. It's a deadly sin that leads us away from God's will into rebellion and toward destruction. But here's where we must turn our attention to a far more powerful and divine force: humility. Humility is not a quality that the world prizes, but it is a virtue that God honors. Humility is, in fact, the exact opposite of pride. Where pride says, "I can do it all on my own," humility says, "I need God in everything I do." Where pride seeks to elevate oneself, humility seeks to exalt God. Where Philippians 2:5-8, Paul tells us that Christ, who existed in the form of God, did not the world around me. It becomes painfully clear that pride is a pervasive force that influences nearly every aspect of our lives. In our culture, pride is not only tolerated, it's celebrated.